This is Labor October. I'd like to discuss today about the paranormal. Thought it'd be something I dabble into because I've had experience with this. So, a long time ago, when I was, I want to say 8 years old, 10 years old, I had a nightmare one time. And I woke up from this nightmare. And by the way, when I woke up, I was fully awake. I did not have sleep paralysis. But I woke up to a shadow with red glowing eyes, and it was hideous. The way it was shaped, it looked like something out of a TV movie or a comic book, but it was staring at me, and it was heavily breathing at me, and it was also like really staring into my eyes, and it was going "Ugh, ugh, ugh." And I'm not gonna lie, I was frightened because I didn't know what the heck was going on. So after it stared at me for a couple minutes and did that scary breathing, it went away. And it did scratch me. I remember quite well that it did scratch me. And it left marks on my right hand. I remember specifically it was my right hand. It gave me 3 marks, by the way, which is mocking the Holy Trinity. Yeah, it did that to me. So I remember the first time that was my experience with shadow people. And then recently, like today, like it hasn't happened for about 2 or so months, but I did wake up one time and I saw about 3 or 4 shadow people inside my room, and they were just standing there staring right at me, and the energy they gave off was not a good vibe. It was like, how can I explain it? It was kind of like a very scary energy, but not like as bad as a demon's energy. Like, you would have to experience what I have to experience. Because, talking about it's one thing, but experiencing it is another. So, we don't know too much about shadow people. There's theories going around that they're demons or they're people that passed away. There's still speculations about what shadow people really are, but from what we know is that they come when you show sign of negativity. So like if you're stressed out, or you're angry about something, or you're really upset, they will come and visit you in your room, and they will feed off of your energy. A thing to keep in mind is, like, when we're asleep and we're dreaming, we're very vulnerable because the soul is projecting out of your body, basically. Yeah, I wish I was making this up, but your soul is basically projecting itself while you fall asleep. And that's how they can come in and invade you and make you have all those terrible dreams. You know, the demons. So yeah, it's been an interesting phenomenon. At the same time, it's kind of creepy. When they did come and visit me the last time, I actually literally just stared straight back at them, and I was able to move, and they fled out of my bedroom. And so far, I haven't seen them come back. But yeah, shadow people are the real deal. This is becoming more and more of a occurrence that happens practically every day. You know, at one point it used to be a very rare phenomenon that you encounter shadow people, but now it's just getting to the point where it's just becoming way too common. So I'm going to play not this video, but a video of a guy explaining about shadow people. So I'm going to let him take it away, because this guy has quite a bit of experience with shadow people.
So let me just knock my phone onto silent. Great. So the only way I can really explain what people refer to as shadow people is my experience as a healer with clients on the healing bed, in hospitals, in places where they're passing away. It could be various places where they've got cancer and they're being looked after in special hotels. Also, yeah, there's actually so many places you can talk about, but I've traveled all over the place and healed people in the most strangest of places and situations. And for me, shadow people aren't subject to one particular phenomena. And I do know that when I listened to a couple of people, I was on a podcast with Jerry Mazinski, and he spoke to a lot of his patients. And it's true to say, when our body is out of balance and not feeling well, these entities can come along, not just the shadow people, but many entities. I often used to sit down and meditate, and I used to ask spirit, why is it that when we are in complete chaos in our body, when we are out of balance and out of sync, why is it that we're so prone to entities? And I always remember this. It was strange, because as I was meditating and asked the question, my visualizations were normally a representation of spirit giving me communication, not verbally, but so my third eye would open up and I could see certain things. And I remember asking this question because I saw what I believed was somebody who walked past me as I was giving a healing session in the Costa del Sol hospital. And I turned and nobody was there. And the shadow, I thought, was one or two or three people. So I thought I saw numerous shadows together. And Jerry, actually, it was funny because Jerry mentioned that they often come in pairs or more than one. And that kind of like inside, I'm like, God, yeah, I totally know what you're saying. So that's a side note. So what did I receive? What was the information that the spirit world gave me? I was looking upon the prairie, and on the prairie there were human beings that had been starved. They starved to death, and there were one or two of them were nearly dead, but weren't quite dead. But two or three people around them were dead. This is what I was looking at. And then my eyes, from looking at the prairie and these people dying, my eyes lifted up and looked above these people, and there were vultures, like 5 or 6 or 7 vultures flying around. And that was it. That the visualization just disappeared. So that was the information I received from the question of asking, what are shadow people? Interesting, eh? So what would you make of that? To me, I made of it that when our body isn't physically strong, when our mind and spirit isn't connected as it should be, so the bodysuit is here and the spiritual is here, and it fits like a glove, and it works so well. Now we know as a fact that the darkness weaves its evil into people and makes them believe certain things. And I believe that the shadow people are part of that darkness. I believe darkness doesn't just come with evil, it comes with entity, demonic, shadow people, and so many other, what I believe are entities of the darkness. And they all represent something very different in and around whatever their victim or prey or food is, or energy. So if you are mentally incapable of being balanced because somebody has said to you, you need to take this medication, soon as that happens, there is a vulture type of energy that can smell, that can see, that can feel that within these spacesuits something is very wrong, and the vultures will come in and they will hang around, they will observe, they will just, like the vulture, it doesn't come in till you're fully dead, but it's hanging around waiting for you to die. And that was kind of like what I got from that information. I don't know whether it can go deeper or whether you can relate to this and whether it goes deeper to that. But when we are on a spiritual path, a journey, and we are awakened to that spiritual journey, there's certain points where we can be infiltrated, we can be attacked. There can be a psychic attack or a psychic emergency. Why is that? Because we have opened up to a new energy, and that new energy is almost like your mouth shouting from the top of the mountain for everybody to know that you've changed. And when that happens, certain people, certain entities can feel that, and they can take advantage of that. And that's happened to me on a number of occasions.